You know, this community is a very important community in India. It has pioneered entrepreneurship in a manner unprecedented in the history of any community anywhere in the world. When I went to the Subhash Chandra, the chairman of the ZTV, took me to Maharaja Agarsen's place called Agroha, where I saw Maharaja being seated on the throne. Then he related the whole history of the Maharaja. And of course, that has been repeated by Ramnath Gurung here. Whether we remember this history is the most important. Many of us on an occasion remember history, but history is an emotional connect, sentimental connect. It is a connect of the soul. So that's what I asked Mr. Harris. Do you remember this man? See, one of the problems that we as a country suffer is that we don't connect to our ancestors. Ancestry is a very important character building thought. But we are so cosmopolitan in our outlook. We think that to recollect somebody in a community setup, cultural setup, is something which the larger approach will not accept. That's not correct. Diversity of India is the essence of India. There is nothing called a homogeneous India. The homogeneous India shares certain common behavior. For example, I went to Arunachal Pradesh. They received me in the same way in which an Atithi would be received in Tamil Nadu. That is common. But their ancestry, their heroes, their literature, their faith, their gods, their way of eating are all amazingly different. So, my appeal to all the communities, in fact, I have been a researcher into the community value. For 50 years I have studied, particularly after we started the Swadeshi Jagran Manch, community contribution to entrepreneurship. I found that the entire entrepreneurial development in India has taken place because of community-oriented competitive spirit. And I lectured for 4 years in IIT Bombay, the management. In fact, I found all the management graduates seeking jobs, but they get employed by people who are developed as entrepreneurs by communities. For example, you take Tirupur, which is the knitwear capital of the world. 68% of the entrepreneurs are educated less than school final. Only 7% are graduates. They employ MBAs, they employ chartered accountants, they employ lawyers, they employ engineers. So I told the Bombay management, Sailendra Mehta Management Institute, in which I taught for 4 years, that you guys are supposed to provide jobs, but you are seeking jobs. And in fact, I even castigated them for attending campuses, for securing jobs. In fact, to my credit, I could say, those who attended campus interview came down drastically and many of them turned entrepreneurs. The Entrepreneurial Training Institute in India are only the communities. But I asked Ashok Kedia, how many Agarwal families are there? It may be about 3,000. Then almost all of them are in business, are professionals. Why? Because they represent the entrepreneur spirit. And they must be employing thousands of people. So, first I would like to appreciate this community for sustaining the entrepreneur. Because my first association with an Agarwal was Ramnath Goenka. Was probably one of the tallest Agarwals, and I became his advisor when I was 27 and he was 72. You can understand the kind of. Sorry, I didn't notice. So I could understand, though I was his advisor, what I learnt from him, I could not have learnt from a university. You know, the kind of experiences that are turned into juice form and served by elders in those communities. One sentence could alter my life. I became very popular when I was arrested in 1987 on a forged letter by Rajiv Gandhi because I carried on a campaign against corruption. So I became very popular. I did nothing to become popular. Somebody's foolishness made me a popular man. But I didn't know how to manage the popularity. So I asked Goenka, I have become suddenly popular. My own family looks at me like this. I feel very small. My friends are distanced from me. Goenka told me, Guru, this is the biggest challenge of your life. You can conceal your wealth, but you can't conceal your popularity. I said, I know it. That's the problem. You tell me what is the solution. He gave me 3 lines. 2 lines from Mahatma Gandhi. He said, Mahatma Gandhi's popularity nosedived in 1923 after he withdrew the non-cooperation because some 14 policemen were killed. Chauri Chora, when the movement was about to succeed, Gandhiji withdrew the non-cooperation. So everybody pounced on Gandhi. That simply because you want to pose yourself as a non-violent person, you have hurt the interests of the country by withdrawing the movement. And Gandhi's pictures were kept on the street, spat on it. So the BBC interviewed Mahatma Gandhi. Mr. Gandhi, it seems your popularity has left you. Gandhi's reply was, popularity comes without invitation and goes without farewell. This is the kind of lessons that must be taught in schools. I found in my entire career, in my school, nobody taught me. The greatest qualities I acquired after leaving the school. The society taught me, great people taught me, experienced people taught me, my mother taught me, my neighbors taught me. Because the academic institutions focus only on marks and career. I think as educationists, and you are all because you are involved in education, deliberating education, well, and this function itself is to, in a way, project how you are serving the cause of it. 2 things I will add here because there is an effort which you took. I think Anil Kicha is here. Is he here? Oh, he is here. These are all the people with whom I used to discuss about how this community can serve itself, and also the educational institution can foster character building. Ramnath Kovind spoke about character building, which can never come through textbook, can never come through blackboards. It has to be an ingrained behavioral model. For which samskaras are needed. So we made an experiment. So in every school, there must be Acharya Vandana. And voluntarily done. No student should be forced to do. Anyone who wants to participate in celebrating the teacher's feet must be washed. Like you wash the Guru's feet. And they said, no, it can't happen in our schools. You try. It happened in every school. 3,500 schools participated. And we made it a public event in the Hindu Spiritual and Service Fair. And one of the schools was PSBB school, in which they said it can never be thought of in our school because the students who come into the school are from such big families. They will never do it. Right. 4 years we have worked on them, and the same voluntary participation announcement was made. And when this happened, teachers cried. And the relationship between teachers and students changed overnight. You respect the teacher becomes more respectable. Make the student feel humble, he will become more humble. So I think imparting samskaras are very, very important, because the home is becoming less and less of an institution to impart samskaras, because we don't spend time with the children and there is no grandmother or grandfather. Grandfathering is more important than fathering and mothering a child. So the schools will have to be reoriented, and we have introduced a variety of programs: Vrikshavandhan, Govandhan, Gajavandhan. People may ask, why all this? Our forefathers were not fools. You know, India is just 2.4% of the global land area. Just 2.4%. We have 18% human population, 18%. We have 30% bovine population of the world, 42% of the cattle population of the world, and we have 8% of the bioresources, and we have 21% forest coverage. In fact, when I mentioned this in the presentation which I made before the Niti Aayog at the instance of the Prime Minister, our entire educated audience was stunned. These are all basic facts. So when we say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, it is not limited to or extended only to humans. And when we did not have food in 1960s and 70s, the animal population kept rising in India. We didn't eat. When I mentioned this to international audiences, they were stunned. America is 3.5 times the size of India, but its bovine population is 1/5 of India. China's is likewise. These are all the facts which our children must know. You build respect for your country in relation to what other countries are. But we build respect for other countries because of the buildings in those countries, or bridges in those countries. So we have to reorient our entire education system. It is not possible. It is in the hands of the government. But there are many things which individual schools can do. So I have been pleading with these guys, Ashok Kedia and Anil Kicha. They have been my friends for a long time. Do something about it. 10 years I had tried to bring together all these Rajasthani associations and their service activities. In the Hindu fair that we were running, that you guys run so many activities. Education institute, medical institute. And all of you will not come together in one name to project that this is the kind of service that we North Indians are doing in India, in Tamil Nadu, where you are not very comfortably looked at because of the political situation. But you guys won't do it. So my appeal to all of you is that the kind of work that the North Indian community has done and is doing should be projected to the Tamil important people, the media, the political party, administrators, police, and the general public. So when all this, we join together, 50 years celebration, Ramnath Govindaya, should not be over. It is a context. But the text of your service is not known. So my appeal is that all of you some time on this. Don't only make money. Money is important. But more important then is the brand that you build for yourself. In fact, in 1997, the entire non-banking financial institutions were supposed to be finished. In all of them, of course, a lot of wrong things happened. All these people came to me for consultation. I don't know whether anybody from here came. Many Marwadis also came at the time. I told them that non-banking financial institution will never survive because it has acquired a bad name. It doesn't have a brand. You have to rebrand it so that the non-banking financial institutions can survive. And then they took it up, and one group took the lead, Hiram Group. He said they spent all the money, rebranded the non-banking financial institutions. I worked with the government, worked with the Reserve Bank to say that this is an important intermediary with the financial products which the Indian people are aware. So it should not be destroyed. Otherwise, the government was going to destroy it at that time. He rebranded the whole thing. Now, non-banking financial institutions is an unshakable part of the Indian financial system. Why I am mentioning this is that you will have to rebrand the North Indian community in India through the service you do. So I am using this occasion to laterally insert a thought in you. And if I have succeeded in doing it, it make you think that all of you must devote some time for your community, brand, not have these celebrations. These celebrations are necessary because it drives your adrenaline. But you have to do more. That is important. And very happy to have participated in this event. I told them that when I come, I will talk on these lines. And they all said, okay. So I shared my thought freely and frankly. Thank you.